everybody and welcome on today's video. Well, today's gonna be a short one. I'm intending to plant a cutting from the exact same tree as this raft was made of, to plant it here, and hopefully these things will grow together, but it's going to take, oh well, if it works, at least 5 to 10 years before I have something, because I need a new top on this tree and I need it to be a little thicker. So well, it's a complicated. On the other hand, there's some good news too. I have a little branch that I just wired upwards that could be a new top, which is nice. And also on the tree here where I lost the top, I have some buds growing, so it's not doing too bad, so I'm quite happy with that. For the rest, well, the tree is budding out. So the first thing to do now is to prepare this tree to receive the cutting. So let's do that. This, of course, is a fairly simple operation. I need to dig here as much of the soil out as I can. I'm finding some roots of the tree, of course, and everything that I remove here should be used as a spot for the cutting to grow in. So that's, I think, plenty of room. And now let's get the cutting. Okay, this tree is the mother plant, the exact same twin, or call it as you want, of the raft that you saw. So genetically it's identical. So I'm really concerned about this little tree. I want him to grow a whole lot this year, and this is a cutting that I took, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. So now I'm going to remove this very gently, because I want as much roots as possible to come out. I think I'll have to wash the roots a little. Okay. So I'm going to lift this. Because I don't want to rip all the roots off. Well, it looks like this is a quite long cutting, but it's moving. So loosening the soil. I hope we have some decent roots. Yeah, that's not a whole lot, but I think this is, well, this could work. Okay. And so now we're back here. And what I'm going to do is just position this cutting right here. My God, that's a big root. Okay. And maybe remove some more soil here. You see, we already have some circling roots. And I intend to use every root that I got out, even if they're starting to circle. I don't really care about that. So I'm going to cover this up. Okay. And as you see, this will take a whole lot of years before, well, this part gets covered, but at least there's a chance now. So I'm going to take a little piece of wire or raffia and try to apply this tree against the other tree and then cover this up with some decent bonsai soil. So first of all, I'm going to try to get this tree right next or right onto the other one. But you see, that's not going to be that easy. But okay, it'll work. And I think that's all the tension and pressure that I will apply on it, because you want your little tree to stand a chance, because if it doesn't, well, then I'm back in misery for a couple of years before I have other cuttings. Should have let this raffia a little longer. It's always the same and stupid. Yeah, that's good. Try to push it down just a little. And remove this. And now I will position the little roots here. Gently work the soil in with my fingers. Like so. And because I want to protect these roots, I think I might take a little piece of moss. To cover this part of the pot. If this grows well, it could protect this portion of the pot from too many direct sunlight, which is exactly what I need, and that's it. So this is a very short video. I intend to make this multiple part video, so I'll see you in a few seconds, but you'll see me in a couple of weeks, months, I don't know. Does it make sense? I don't know. But that's where we are now. So to be continued, I will film a little bit more in a couple of weeks, and then we see how this thing goes. Yeah. Today I'd like to do some work on my raft Japanese maple. This is the back. And this is the front, and if you have seen the video of this tree that I made a month ago, something like that, you know that I planted a little cutting here just to make sure that, well, the front was re-established. Now it's doing okay, but it's still quite thin, and I think that in the future I might really need 2 or 3 more of these little cuttings. So, well, everything that I cut off now will be used as cutting material. But there's my piece of paper flying away, and I'm going to need it. I'm going to take it because I'm going to do some cutting today, but I don't want to cut back anything on this front tree. So here you can see this is the cutting. So this one I really don't want to touch it because, well, it has to grow. So all the rest, well, I will have to cut back. So I'm going to come in a little closer so that you don't see me, but that you can see the tree. I did not do any soft pinching meaning that you remove the end tip. I want the branches to extend. I want this tree to become healthy again because it had lots of trouble last summer. But now that the first growth has, well, started to hard off and become woody, I can trim it back, and that will allow the sunlight to get into the interior of the tree. Yeah, so that will make the buds that are dormant probably open up, and then we'll do the same maybe in the summer or in the autumn. So let's come a little closer. Now I want a well, better silhouette on this tree, so I'm going to start with the highest part here and remove these branches, and of course leave a minimum of 2 new leaves. Like so. And it is not very clear what's going on because, well, there's a lot of growth, which is very good, of course. So all you can really do is trim back to the silhouette. So this one is the cutting, and there's a little wire on it, so that's a really good thing. So I'm not going to cut that one. It is possible at this point to use directional pruning. But it is also possible to let grow everything, and when the tree drops its leaves, select what you want to keep. So this tree, I'm going to cut back this branch. It's going to be a whole lot simpler to show you. Okay. So this tree is not doing great either, but we have a little bud that might become a very good new top here. So I'm not going to touch that. But now it will get some light, which is very good. And here, just going to go for a profile pruning. I'm quite happy with what I see here. You see this branch here? Well, if I follow it, it's coming from this tree, so it means that this tree is full of vigor. And this is fantastic cutting material. So, yeah, I'm very happy with that. The branches on the lowest parts are not that thick, so maybe I'll let these ones grow out a little more. And I'm always trying to find where the branch is coming from. But I must say that at this point I'm rather happy with what I have. Okay, so still in the clear here. That's almost done. Now, not every bit can be used as a cutting. and I had a, well, reasonable success rate with cuttings from Japanese maples, but definitely not 100%. But even if I have 20%, it's good, because if you have lots of cuttings, well, 20% of that is still a lot of cuttings. So let me have a look as a profile now. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And the lowest branches here, well, I think that maybe I'm going to let them grow out a little more to give them some weight. Yeah, this is definitely not a good branch. It's growing straight down, so these are little details that you should be looking at if you see that the branch is really in a bad position. Well, it's a nice view from here. Maybe I'll try to get the camera under here to show you. So that's probably the best I can do. So here you have the little cutting, and well, this tree is still alive. The front tree scratched some bark here to be sure, but well, it needs light. It needs anyway, I can fix that. I can fix that, no problem. So I'll give it a little spin so you can see the canopy from below. And now, well, you can see a little of the sunlight getting through. So that's all the pruning that I'm going to do today. Next stop is now making cuttings of this. So it's the best thing to do with these kind of cuttings here, well, half May, is to cut between, just below 2 leaves, rather sharp, and then you can leave, well, the top leaves, the rest you get rid of. You take a little pot with water and you dip it in, and then you put it in rooting hormone, plant it up to here in the soil. And if you have a plastic bottle to put over it, it's even better, because that will act like a greenhouse and keep everything moist. Put it in the shadow. It really increases your chances for rooting, because otherwise you might have the leaves drying out and dropping, and then nothing will happen. So I hope I get 4 or 5 new cuttings that will grow and that I can use next spring to add here. So that's it for this Japanese maple. And that's also it for this video. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.